What's going on, guys? Master Hyper back with another motherfucking YouTube video and a new show coming to the channel. We're going to be analyzing week 4 matchups for the NFL football league. Fuck it, let's get into it. Week 1, we got the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Football Giants. Dallas, awful run defense. Dallas, awful run offense. Wow. The only thing the Giants really have is Danny Dimes and a good neighbor who's always there. They're going to be playing catch with each other. It's going to be Stephon Diggs guarding them all day. So really, whether Neighbors even gets open at all, it's going to be up to all the other pieces on the offense to even have a chance at victory against Dallas. Going Dallas with that one. Broncos versus the Jets. Bo Shits has got his first win last week, but has yet to throw a touchdown. Meanwhile, he's throwing 4 interceptions already this year, getting sacked 4 times. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets has already had more passing touchdowns, more than half the passing touchdowns, 5, than Zach Wilson did all last year, starting with the Jets at 8. So, yeah, the Jets' defense is going to be too much. Their offense is going to be too much. You got the Jets going in all day on that one. Minnesota versus Green Bay. Minnesota's defense so far has had at least 5 sacks in each of the last 3 games. Green Bay's offense has been just enough to win with Malik Willis out there and no Jordan Love. I'm going to go Minnesota just because Sam Darnold, Jefferson, that defense is going to be way too much, too many weapons. Sam Darnold's playing way too well right now, and Love's going to be... I had something on here, something about Love back, Love on the back, comeback. Love, come back. Anyways, moving on. Atlanta versus New Orleans. You got 2 boring teams, 2 boring ass teams. You got Kirk Cousins, who's been showing that he's got it the last 2 weeks at least. So they have been entertaining, at least offensive wise. Meanwhile, Derek Carr, the first 2 games, has overperformed, overproved himself, dropping like 96 points in 2 games versus the Panthers and the Cowboys. But they play one good, stout defense with the Eagles. Stop all that running, they only scored 12 points. Honestly, I think Derek Carr is going to continue to regress. He's not going to be a goddamn league MVP caliber like how he played the first 2 weeks. I got Kirk Cousins and also Atlanta because of the defense. Let's move on. We got Philadelphia versus Tampa Bay. Philadelphia losing 2 wide receivers this year already. A.J. Brown being out with a hamstring injury. And then we just had Devontae Smith get knocked out last week versus the Saints, so he's going to be out with a concussion. I got the Bucks coming in big, winning this game after getting embarrassed last week against the Broncos. I think Baker Mayfield's finna bake. And yeah, honestly, I think Godwin and Mike Evans going to be way too much, and yeah, Baker Mayfield's going to have a day. Next, coming up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Carolina Panthers. The 0-3 Bengals versus a resurging Red Rifle gunslinging the Andy Dalton. Cincinnati's gonna take that Panther butt. Bengals beat Panthers. Anyways, moving on. Jags versus Houston. You got Lawrence, who's accumulated the most turnovers since 2001. The Jags defense is just god awful. I mean, they have nothing going for them, really. Stroud is finna have a field day. All those wide receivers are finna have a field day. It's finna be chaos for the Jaguars for the rest of the year. And honestly, I think someone from the Jags is getting fired after this week if they lose, especially if they get embarrassed as bad as they did. Moving on. Pittsburgh versus Indiana. Now, what's his name? Anthony Richardson, goddamn, one of the worst statistically one of the worst passers in the league. He gets lucky on some of these Hail Mary bombs like how he got in week 1. I think Pittsburgh's smash mouth football is going to be too much. They've been too good. Their defense is too good. TJ Watt is a goddamn monster. I got Pittsburgh running the clock out all second half. The score is going to be 16-6. Up next, we got the Rams versus the Bears. We got Matty, the Statty. Honestly, I believe he's just going to be too good. Man, we saw the way he was working the 49ers last week with no goddamn wide receiver. Yeah, he didn't have Kupp. He didn't have Nakua. Hombo was still slinging it downfield to Robinson, to Higbee, to whoever he had. Kyron Williams doing a job as a running back. I think Williams' growth just won't be enough. It's going to come down to, honestly, just the quarterbacks. Defenses, I think, are just about even. I got the Rams taking this one all the way. Commanders versus Cardinals. We got Dan Quinn and his defense and his team led by Jaden Daniels. Homeboy's talent is way too much. He put it on display on Monday Night Football under all the bright lights. Honestly, that shows what a 5-year college football quarterback could be in the NFL. Not that Bo Nix bullshit. Some of these motherfuckers don't got it. It's going to be honestly a Kyler Murray versus a tall Kyler Murray matchup. Which defense will create more turnovers, I think, will be the difference, or which offense makes the least amount of mistakes. I think these teams are very even going into this matchup. I do have the Commanders coming out on top, though. Patriots versus 49ers. Jacoby Brissett going up against BCB. You can figure out what that one stands for. Brock Purdy. San Francisco's talent is still too much, regardless of all the injuries with Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle being out. They still got Juwan Jennings, still got Ayuk, still got Mason, still got that offensive line, still have that amazing defense. It's honestly, I think it might be another game similar to what the Jets Patriots was like last week. Yeah, I honestly think the Patriots have a better chance with Drake May out there than Jacoby Brissett. But yeah, I think they're trying to save Homeboy's life before he gets pummeled like all these other rookies and stuff. Cleveland versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Predator versus the Gardener. The Doodoo Browns versus the Raiders. Anyways, yeah, the Browns are terrible this year. Again, any team Watson has played on for the last 2 years, which has been only the Browns, has just done awful. We saw what happened when Joe Flacco got under center, and it turned to a completely different offense, completely different team. This Gardner dude is going to raid this brown hole. Alright, I don't know why I wrote that down. Moving on. Moving on. Chiefs versus the Chargers. Yeah. Yeah, Herbert's hurt, so, damn it. Buffalo versus, Baltimore. Shit. Alright, we got white man can't jump and black man can't wait. Both these offenses are goddamn freak machines. But I think the Bills' offense is just going to be too potent, even without the wide receivers, against that Ravens defense. And honestly, I'm going to have to take Buffalo by the edge. Unless Baltimore does something crazy and Lamar just plays outright outstanding and flawless, it's going to be Buffalo all day. They've been unstoppable. Tennessee versus Miami. Yeah, Will Levis. I get my pants from him, Levis. Anyways, Will Levis finally goes against a worse quarterback than he is. Whoever it is, unless it's Tyler Huntley, which will only be the only exception, honestly. If he goes against Tyler Huntley, I think it's actually the game might be 50-50. But if Tim Boyle starts, Skylar Thompson's okay, and he starts, no chance for Miami. Tennessee's winning in an ugly 13-6 win. Seattle versus Detroit. The Seahawks versus the Lions. It'll be the Seattle's first test, honestly, coming to this year so far. They haven't played any competition. Playing the Patriots, Tua Tagovailoa-less Miami Dolphins. Who did they play week 1? They played somebody terrible week 1. I know that for sure. But it's going to be their first game against a real team, against a real competitor, as they're 3-0 right now. But honestly, I think Detroit edges it out with their defense and their play calling. You know how Dan Campbell can be. And I think that's what it's going to be. This has been week fucking 4 for your ass. We'll be back next week with week 5. And also, we'll see how many of my damn predictions were correct.